Welcome. Many years ago, I was a karate student. Later, I became an instructor and even competed in international championships. One of the greatest lessons I learned from my best instructors, some of whom were 6-time world champions, was this: when you're in a fight, always move forward. Even if it's just half an inch at a time, keep advancing. Because when you're moving forward, 100% of your attention is focused on your goal. But the moment you step back, even slightly, part of your focus shifts to what's behind you, to what you're leaving or fearing. And that hesitation can cost you everything. So I say this to you: always move forward. Dare to advance, no matter how uncertain it feels. Every time you choose between standing still, playing it safe, or taking a step into the unknown, choose to advance, not because success is guaranteed, but because that choice strengthens your inner muscle, the habit of persistence. Most people, when given the chance to step up or stay safe, choose safety. But as General Douglas MacArthur once said, there is no security in life, only opportunity. Life is full of paradoxes. The more we chase comfort, the less secure we feel. But the more we pursue opportunities, the more security we create from within. Helen Keller said it beautifully: life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. She also emphasized that the constant search for safety is a path to failure, and that courage is absolutely essential to live a fulfilled life. I used to believe that brave people eventually reach a point where they no longer feel fear. Let me tell you something I've learned. If you're not scared at least 3 or 4 nights a week, you're not stretching yourself enough. If you're not falling flat on your face from time to time, if you're not going to bed with your heart pounding, then you're living far within your potential. Every truly successful person lives on the outer edge of their capabilities. And yes, it's scary because fear, doubt, and uncertainty are part of growth. But courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is simply this: taking action despite it. You cannot name a single successful person who didn't show courage, who didn't take risks. In my experience, the fear of failure is the single biggest cause of failure in adulthood. It's not mistakes that ruin us, it's the fear of making them. But fear is just a habit, and like any habit, it can be replaced. Replace the habit of fear with the habit of courage. Because if we don't, we end up like the 80% or 90% of people who never fulfill their true potential. Here's the good news: in every generation, only a small percentage of people ever truly rise to their potential. But you can be one of them. All it takes is a decision to learn from those who already have. If you want to be an engineer, you study engineering. If you want to be a great cook, you study recipes, take classes, and learn from the best. Success is no different. Study the lives, habits, and mindset of the men and women who are already achieving what you dream of. Then model them. Your self-esteem is largely defined by the gap between your current self-image and your personal ideal. If that gap is shrinking because your actions align with your higher self, your self-esteem rises. If that gap widens because you've drifted from your path, your self-esteem drops. Striving to live up to your highest ideal is what strengthens your self-worth and confidence. When someone compliments you in a way that aligns with your vision of who you want to become, it resonates deeply because you know you're moving in the right direction. So how do we change our self-concept? Step 1. The change must be seen as both desirable and necessary. As I often say, before you can change a light bulb, the bulb has to want to change. You have to want the growth and need it to move forward. If your self-image is of a disciplined, positive, well-organized person, and you believe that image is essential to becoming a leader or a top performer, then you'll act in alignment with that vision. Step 2. Begin to think of yourself as the person you wish to become. John Assaraf, who you'll hear from tomorrow, developed a program called The Inner Game of Wealth. He was inspired by a man named Timothy Galway, who wrote The Inner Game of Tennis over 30 years ago. Galway's philosophy is simple. If you want to become a better tennis player, imagine you're already a champion. Act, move, and play like a world-class athlete. Just that mental shift can dramatically improve your performance, because when you imagine yourself at your best, your body and mind follow. This applies to every area of life. Want to be a better golfer, a better speaker, a better leader? Visualize yourself as already excellent. It's not about arrogance, it's about programming your subconscious. By imagining success, you change your self-concept. Your ideal self becomes a mental collage of all the admirable qualities you've observed in others, and if you've read biographies of great men and women. Now I pause to tell you something important. If this message is resonating with you, and you want to go even deeper into your personal growth, I invite you to visit my website, thepowerofyourmindx.com. The link will be in the description of the video. There you will find more speeches like this, designed to inspire you and help you transform your life. And now, we continue. Celebrities, but people of substance. You start to internalize their strength, their discipline, and their perseverance. There's always a dynamic tension between who you are and who you could be. And here's the truth. People who think they're already good enough rarely are. Because truly admirable individuals are never complacent. They constantly strive to improve, to be more successful, more compassionate, more patient, more loving. Even when the world praises them, they compare themselves only to a higher personal standard. That's what drives them forward. And when you admire those people, you unconsciously start becoming more like them. But here's the tragedy of today's world. Too many young people admire celebrities, athletes, or influencers who lack real substance. You can tell who someone admires by who they follow, who they watch, who they imitate, and sadly, these aren't always the best role models. When I was growing up in a difficult home, a few men took me under their wing. They became my role models. To this day, I still remember wanting to be someone they would be proud of. The great writer Somerset Maugham was once asked why he wrote so prolifically. He answered with something powerful. I write to earn the respect of those I respect. And that's what many of us are doing, living our lives in a way that earns the respect of those we admire, or at the very least, trying not to lose it. Many of us are willing to endure hardship, discipline, and sacrifice just to keep the respect of someone we hold in high regard. So let me leave you with this question. Whose respect do you value most? Who in your life do you deeply admire? And then ask, what would I have to do or avoid doing to earn and keep their respect? They don't even have to know you. They can be someone you've never met. But when you admire them deeply, they influence you. Protect your integrity like it's sacred. As Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, nothing is at last sacred but the integrity of your own mind. Never compromise your integrity. Never sell your peace of mind. Because once you do, you lose the one thing that holds everything else together. Your peace of mind is the foundation of your integrity. Never do anything that disturbs your inner peace. If something makes you feel unhappy, walk away. Don't stay in relationships, jobs, or situations that rob you of your peace, because peace of mind is the greatest asset you have. When someone lives with true alignment, they build their life around what's most important, being true to themselves, and living up to the best version of who they are. But this takes immense courage. It's easy to follow the crowd, but you'll never feel truly happy until you know you're being completely authentic, completely true to who you are. Start creating mental pictures of the person you want to become. A clearly visualized image is a command to your subconscious mind. And when you see yourself acting in the best way possible, your subconscious starts aligning your behavior with that image. It's like planting a seed, and your subconscious becomes the garden that grows the behavior you envision. Visualize yourself as a confident, positive, successful person. Visualize yourself as happy. The more you see that image, the more natural it becomes, and eventually you'll start behaving consistently with that new version of you. Practice visualization over and over again. Every time you do it, your subconscious accepts it as a new instruction. Well done, Justin. You did it again. You showed up as your best self. Before every important moment, visualize. Your image must be clear, vivid, and exciting. Because the more clarity and emotional intensity you give it, the faster it will become your reality. If you want a new house, look at homes, take photos, collect images of your dream home. Feed them into your mental computer until your subconscious starts guiding you toward that vision. Assume the role. Act like the person you want to become. Walk like them. Talk like them. If you want to be confident, act like it. If you want to be successful, carry yourself that way. I tell salespeople, walk into meetings as if you're already wealthy, as if you had $100 million in the bank. You're not desperate. You're just here to help. When you show up with that attitude, you remove the fear, the anxiety, the desperation from your voice. And people can feel that. They're more likely to trust you, to buy from you, when you're relaxed and aligned with who you are. Feelings create actions, and actions also create feelings. So act the part. The more you act like your future self, the more you start to feel like that person. And those feelings will drive your behavior. It's incredibly powerful. Just act like the version of you that already made it. And soon, you'll start feeling it's real. Fake it until you feel it. Because when you act confident, you'll start to feel confident. When you act happy, you'll start to feel happy. Affirmations are strong, positive declarations you say to yourself. The most powerful words in your world are the ones you repeat and believe about yourself. And with affirmations, your future potential becomes limitless, because you become what you repeatedly say to yourself. Over time, those affirmations go deeper into your subconscious, until they start showing up in your external reality. Just like the man who wrote down 101 goals and saw every single one come true within 12 years. Affirmations are built on the 3 Ps. They must be personal, positive, and in the present tense. Always start with I am, I achieve, I earn, I live. Say, I earn X per year. I weigh X pounds. I live in a 3,500 square foot custom-built home. One of my students did exactly that. After losing his job, he kept repeating the affirmation about his dream home. Within 12 months, after switching jobs twice and increasing his income, he closed the deal on a beautiful custom-designed house. Why? Because this works every single time. Speak to yourself in positive terms. Write your goals as affirmations. I earn. I weigh. I own. I achieve. Say them out loud. Speaking them increases their impact by 2 or 3 times. Just like a coach before a game says, "We're going to win. We're going to crush them." And the players get pumped up. Do the same. Stand in front of a mirror and say out loud, "I like myself. I can do this. I feel incredible." Say it to yourself. Say it to others. When people ask me how I'm doing, I always say, "I feel incredible." Even when I was going through cancer treatment, I kept saying it. I feel incredible. Everything's great. It wasn't always true in the moment, but I was speaking the truth ahead of time. You don't have to be light years ahead of anyone. You just need to be slightly better in the areas that make the biggest difference. And you can win. Because the more you work on yourself, the better you become. In our society, there's a debate. Why work so hard? The truth is, less than 5% of people ever truly succeed. Out of every 100 people working today, 1 will retire rich, 4 will be financially independent, 15 will have some savings, 80 will be broke and dependent on others. Only 1% to 2% make it. And do you know what they all have in common? They work hard, they push themselves, and they never stop improving. You think success is hard? Try failure. Try getting to the end of your life with nothing, depending on charity to survive. That's what's hard. Work 12 to 13 hours a day. Work 60 to 65 hours a week. Let me tell you something about hard work. In our society, you only work 8 hours a day to survive. Anything you do beyond those 8 hours, that's what builds success. If you're only putting in 8 hours a day, you're in trouble. You'd better have a rich uncle or someone else ready to support you. Because in today's competitive world, 8 hours a day just keeps you afloat. It doesn't move you forward. If someone else is working 9 hours, they already have an edge over you. If someone is working 10, they're moving even faster. Every single hour you invest beyond the minimum is a direct investment in your future, an investment in your success. Whether you're studying, reading, working, those extra hours compound over time. They pay off, big time. It's like planting a seed, and what grows isn't just one seed, it's hundreds. It's a harvest, but you only get the harvest if you plant the seed first. If you do the things we've been talking about, if you focus on becoming excellent, if you're clear about your goals, if you care about others, if you live by the golden rule, if you develop courage and live with consistency, if you practice these things every day, something powerful will happen. You will begin to develop true confidence. Because confidence doesn't come from a bottle, it doesn't come from a pill, and you can't learn it from just sitting in a seminar. Real confidence is built through repetition, by doing the right things again and again and again, until you build a rock-solid foundation in your mind. If this message inspired you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our motivational speeches. Every week, we upload content that can help you transform your life. See you in the next video.